Welcome to the behind the scenes DVD extra director commentary something episode of talkbot. Um, my name is Michael Verdi. I make talkbot along with my friend Jan Hanford.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have Asperger's or something.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
A couple of weeks ago, actually, we came up with a process to really streamline making some machinima. In the past, we've done this, and it takes 20 plus hours to make an episode of talkbot. And I wanted to do it every day, and so that's not really sustainable, 20 hours an episode. So I kind of came up with some constraints. I said, let's do this with still images instead of full motion video all the time. It'd be much faster to produce. And not only that, let's just do a set number of shots, because each shot, when you animate the mouths and head and stuff like that, it takes some work in a program called Crazy Talk to put that together. So if I have a set stable of shots, I set them all up once in Crazy Talk, and I don't have to keep doing that every day for every new episode, right? So I have these stables of shots here. There's Aaron talking to himself or to the camera. Let's see, this is Lethal talking to herself or the camera. Lethal talking to Aaron. Why can't I get my little thing to stay here? This is Aaron talking to Lethal, talking to the computer, and there's the computer screen. You get it, right? I've got a little motion intro, and there's an outro kind of thing with the URL, and that's it. Although I did add another shot of Aaron talking to the computer, a more close-up of his face instead of this one here, which is kind of so far away. Anyway, so we just have these kind of basic shots, and so we have those. There's other things, there's of course, we like to use music in some way. Also, we use Twitter, and I put tooltips, so when you mouse over the video and stuff like that on the website, there's a little bonus. Sometimes it's a joke, sometimes it's just a little extra something about the video. And so I have this website project management software here where we've been using lately to collect ideas. So it kind of has a blog where we can throw ideas back and forth. We also talk a lot on Skype.
Well, maybe instead of Matt Lauer interviewing him, maybe you can just use my Asperger's joke, and maybe it's just the joke that that Lethal says to Aaron, Aaron, after talking to you, sometimes I think you've got a little bit of Asperger's. And he says, oh, I don't really like asparagus. It makes my pee smell funny.
Right.
And that's it. It's one joke.
Right.
Or
he says, oh, I don't like that. He doesn't say asparagus. He says, oh, I don't like that. It makes my pee smell funny. And she says,
right.
And then she says, no, not asparagus.
Asparagus. And he goes, exactly. I think that's good. That's a
right.
good back and forth. She goes, right. But I had that at one point. She goes, no, not asparagus, Asperger's. And then he could just go, exactly.
Exactly.
I think that's funny.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's a good demo to show. And then you didn't just video us, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good. Well,
yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
You got us inventing the show,
right.
And laughing at our own jokes.
We also use a program. Let's see. If I can do this. I wonder how the screencast works. Hello. Here. We're over here now. we use this program here called Celtics. It's an open source screenwriting program, and I combine that with talkbot scripts. We combine that with Dropbox. So I store the script files here in Dropbox, and Dropbox is kind of like this shared folder web sync thing. So everything I put in here, I have this folder shared with Jan. So when I put a script in here, it automatically puts a copy on a website and sends her a copy in her folder, and vice versa. And if she updates the file, mine will get automatically updated. There's even a feature where you can go to the website and look up old versions and things like that. So we use those tools to kind of keep things organized as they are. And so now, once we've created a script, then I start making the video. I just wanted to show you the talkbot studio. It's in Second Life, and for the purposes of these episodes, I've already done usually all the shooting or filming, quote unquote, that I need to do. I've already, set up those shots that I talked about earlier and took still images of them. But if I ever need to make more, or on occasion we'll make some things in full motion, this is the studio where it's shot. It's this little box. It's about 700 meters above an island in Second Life. And I have this little talk show set. This is Aaron on the set here, walking around. I built this pretty simply, I think, except for this chair right here and this lamp over here. I built everything else myself. It's mostly just generic primitive shapes and a couple of textures. Mostly it's just colors on textures and some lights there in the background. And so this is it. I can set up new shots and take photos of them, or film them in full motion, kind of basically just like I'm doing right now. It's like a screencast of a video game is kind of pretty much how it works. So there we go. So I have a script. We've just got a couple of lines in this one, and I'll copy Leafle's line here. And I use these text-to-speech voices, these AT&T text-to-speech voices. And Leafle is Audrey here. And we paste this in, and you hit speak.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have Asperger's or something.
So they don't always sound the way you want them to sound. And you've got to, sometimes you got to spell things out phonetically, or adjust the, where there's a comma or a period or a new line break or something to get the voices to come out right. So we'll have to play with that. Let's see here. Let's do Aaron now. Aaron is Mike here.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee smell funny.
That's good. Oh, we don't have to switch that. And then one more line.
Exactly.
And save that. Okay, so let's see. Now I've got all the I got the sound files ready to go. So we're done with this. We're done with the script. And let's see. I'm going to move these. I've got a folder for all of these somewhere. Put these in here. And we're going to go over to Final Cut Pro. Alright, so here I am in Final Cut Pro. And let's see. We're going to start bringing these the audio clips in. I usually edit the audio first, add in the images, and then we'll go do some animation. So let me bring in those audio clips. Okay, so let's listen to that.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have Asperger's or something.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
Okay, so those two are a little bit too close. Let's see.
It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
Okay, I still don't like the way she says that. I'm going to go save this, and I'm going to go back and see if we can do that a little better. Alrighty, I re-recorded that line of Leafles. It was really bugging me, so I'm going to bring that new one in here. This one. And we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to bring this in. Oh, snapping sometimes, I tell you. Let's hear this again.
It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's about right. So now let's put some visuals to this. So I've got an opening. Let's add this in. I've got the opening. There is no sound on that. And we need a shot of, first we have Leafle talking to Aaron. That's this shot right here. But we're going to move everything a second over. See, how long is that? Yeah, we're going to bring this back and put a dissolve in here. Oops. There we go.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have Asperger's or something.
Oh, I...
And we'll cut that right there. And we'll get Aaron is talking to Leafle.
Or something.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
And let's see. I'll probably cut it right there and do the music. So, super, super simple. Let's see.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have Asperger's or something.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
Right. So, we'll do that, and let's see. I'll put the closing on it.
Exactly.
So, what I normally do is I've got a little music intro, a little music outside of that. I also have, I've got some sound effects here. I always have this air sound in Second Life, and it kind of just helps with the deadness of it all, you know, the absolute quietness. There's no room tone because this isn't, you know, video recorded in an actual place. So you're probably not going to hear this on the screencast, but you'll notice right here where there's no dialogue, there is a certain background level right here.
Aaron, sometimes.
That's that air. Anyway, and I'll put some music on it. But the big thing is now I've got to do the animations for the mouth. Okay, so we're going to switch. We've got the program that we're going to use is called Crazy Talk, and it runs only in Windows. So I run Windows via Parallels Desktop on my Mac. So let me boot that up, and we'll switch over there. This is Crazy Talk, and what I've got here is a model. This is Lethal. It's just a still image, and let me click in here so you can see. She's got a kind of a mesh or something over her face, and this is all editable. You can zoom in, right, and edit these points. I'm not going to do that now because it takes a while to do all that, and but you do all that, and you can go in here and add things like give her some teeth, right? Color the inside of the mouth, make the lips stay closed, all those kind of things. You could, I guess you could change her eyes and stuff if you wanted to, but we're not. So that is, so what Crazy Talk does is it does, takes a sound file and syncs the mouth. It does animation and stuff. So let me show you what that looks like. We click here to the script tab, and I'm going to load up a sound file. So let's say I've got a shortcut here. Open up this WAV file here in a second. We'll get that one. And just like that, it took the sound file and then did all the mouth movements for that.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have Asperger's or something.
Okay, that sounded really bad, probably because we're running Windows and screencasting and everything all at the same time, but that's okay. So, I click the Media tab. Now, here's a trickiness about my particular setup. So, the version of Crazy Talk that I have doesn't export in any of the HD resolutions. So, I am going to just export this area right here, and then I have to stick it on top of the video and kind of mask it. I'll show you in just a little bit. So let's say we're going to export that. Another thing about it is, for whatever reason, it won't export to the Mac drive. It has to export to the virtual PC disk, and then I have to copy it over. So we'll save this. Okay, and then let's do her other line while we have her loaded up here. That's the re-recorded one.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
And we'll click this tab. For whatever reason, I have to keep changing that to 24 frames per second to match our edit. All right, now let's switch and do Aaron's line. So I have all the shots done over here. You can see this last week I had to do some extra ones, Obama and Yoda, and, you know, so like you can click Yoda and he'll do her line.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
See? So let's get Aaron back up here.
Not asparagus,
It always starts playing it right away for some reason. Anyway, let's go get Aaron's dialogue.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee.
Okay. So let's export him. We just need this bunch. And let's go get his other line. Hello. Now, one of the things that this program does is you can animate their face and do different emotions and the whole thing. One of the things that I did as another rule for myself, but I also started this in doing as part of the earlier full-on machinima things that I did with them, is that they're robots, and so I don't have them often show emotion, kind of like Mr. Spock kind of deal. It makes it easier for me, but I also found that the kind of blank look that they kind of naturally have, just as a Second Life avatar, was kind of interesting in that you can read emotion into that by what they're saying or the context, and I thought that was kind of cool. So I usually just stick with the blank look that they come with, and I've used more of the emotion stuff or the more animated stuff for other characters. But sometimes we make Aaron smile or something, like in the last episode. Okay, so done with all that. I'm gonna quit. Oh, I gotta copy them over so we can quit Crazy Talk. Okay, I'm back over here in Final Cut Pro, and I am gonna pull in those videos that we just made in Crazy Talk. So let's see. Let's import them. It's the AVI files. AVI. Oops, AVI. Right? Bring those in. Okay. So, I don't want to replace any of this audio. I'm going to lock those right there for a second. Aaron. His first line starts there. And we'll shrink it up like that. His next line is over here. Lethal's second line is right here. And Lethal's first line is right. Why did it look like that? Did I spell something? Oh, it's spelled wrong. Okay. And her first one's there. Okay. So now I've got to match these up, right? This crap here doesn't work. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this down. We're going to open this up over here. So this takes a little futzing right here. You would think it would be super easy, but it's actually, it doesn't always work out exactly how you would think. Okay, that's pretty close. That's in the ballpark, but let me show you what happens is when we get to the end of the clip. Oh, I got it right on. Sometimes you'll see a jump between, like when the new one comes on, you'll see a complete jump. But wow, I really lucked out and got that pretty much exactly freaking right on the first shot. So, oops, we'll crop it a little there. So let's do this. Oops. Let's see what we're doing here. Okay, so 220, I usually, I have to write these things down so I don't have to figure them out all over again. I have, let's see if I can show you this real quick. I have a notebook full lately, my little notebook, is full of like all these like numbers here of the different stuff that I've copied down, all these little numbers, so that I don't have to refigure these things out every time. Well, I have to do them every time I make a new episode, but maybe there's 5, 10 of them in one episode. This way I don't have to figure them out. That just once each. Okay, so copy those numbers down, and we'll go over here to this one, and we'll open it up, and we'll do this one according to those numbers. Right, and then what do we got here? And oh, hello. In my haste, I forgot we don't show Lethal talking for that line of dialogue, so we didn't need to do her a second time. Oh well. That one gets cut. Okay, let's do Aaron. What a dork. Okay. Alright, that's close, but probably not quite. So here's what happens. See that jump? A little jog to the left there? We gotta fix that. We gotta jog it to the right. So, come over here. We'll make this minus 137. And let's see if that was enough. No. Okay. Minus 136.5. Let's see if that was enough. Yep. That's about as close as we're probably going to get it. Okay. So, again, let's do the crop thing. There we go. So he'll do his thing. And we'll copy those numbers down because we really do have to do this one again. Alright, and then we'll come over to this one. Open it up. And let's put in those numbers. Minus 136.5. 39, 22. Nope. Those are Lethal's numbers. Hello. 23, 21, 36, 47, 68. There we go. Let's do this. Let's render the whole thing. So, normally, I've got things like I've got stuff happening on the computer back here, which I will some video or some other animation. So that's a whole nother sequence that gets nested. I've got a Photoshop. If you bring a layered Photoshop document into Final Cut Pro, each layer, right, is a video layer in a sequence, and so I've got Photoshop documents. Do I have Photoshop open? No. Anyway, I've got these Photoshop documents all layered with his computer screen, with a browser window and a pointer, or just a desktop or whatever. I stick video in there, Yoda, somebody, and those are all separate things that that have to get animated and then stuck in there. But this should be done. So let's play this and see what it looks like.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have ostriches or something.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
Right. So now it just needs music. So so now we got to find some music for this. All right. So hold on. So how do we do the music? Well, so Aaron is a big 80s fan, I would say, is kind of the deal. And usually I try to find something that it's another way to tell a story. So something that makes some comment about what the story is, or just, you know, yeah, sometimes it's not that it it's not that sophisticated. You know, it's a love story. There's a love song or something. You know, I try or something like that. Anyway, something like this. We just go for a good. This needs a good punchline, and so we're gonna do "Pump It Up" by Elvis Costello. So I've got one section of it cut out here for the beginning, and so you got to play with the levels and figure out where to fade it out, and I think it might be too loud. Let me see. Yeah, that's a little too loud, so let's bring it down some. Whoa, that's... And it may need a fade in. Maybe just a little bit. So let's fade this out before Lethal, or let's start fading this out when Lethal starts talking. Let's get it low so that we can hear her, and then we'll fade it out all the way. Let's see how that is.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you.
Hear that again.
Aaron, sometimes.
It needs to get a little lower faster.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think.
There we go. And then something for the end. There's a part later in the song. So I want that hey. Let's see. Where is that? Right here? Okay, so that's what we're going to use for the end.
Exactly.
Let's do that right when he says, let's see, where does it work better?
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's end it there. Let's cut that off. And let's bring this down. Let's see.
Exactly.
And there we go. So let's see. Let's play it. Oh, let's do this. I think that's about right. We're going to save it. Let's export it. I'll put it on the desktop here. Okay. Let's open this up here with QuickTime. Here we go. Let's play this bad boy.
Aaron, sometimes when I talk to you, I think you have Asperger's or something.
Oh, I hate that stuff. It makes your pee smell funny.
Not asparagus, Asperger's.
Exactly.
There you go. So, then we just export that, you know, put it on the website, send it to Blip, paste the code in the website, and we're done with one episode of talkbot. Do that 5 times a week, and we've got a week worth of talkbot. So, that's kind of how it's working, at least right now. Thanks for checking it out.